Good job, well done.
Twist it so it stays straight.
You got this guy. You guys did
Yep.
well done. Very well done.
Okay.
Okay, now do the same
Now
thing
you
with
need
the
to
small
unfold it.
star. You're going to do fold it.
Unfold each of them on the edge to make a fan.
Okay.
So you take the ends and then you just unfold them all the folds. This is my head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, struggling.
Yeah. Terrible instructor.
Okay, well keep an eye out on the fan folds here and see how you were doing it. So you folded them all together. Like if you follow this, you're actually gonna be going one and then flipping over. You alternate. That's a fan fold. Try that.
Larger triangle on top of smaller.
No, you guys folded together like just like that. So you can try. So if that makes sense. I don't know. It's supposed to play out here, but it can be a little bit tough. So try and Kyle, try and help Jake out making his fan fold. And then after that, it comes together really nice. You have about 60 more seconds, another minute or two. Just work out that fan fold, make sure it's together, and then you can play. Start the class. Yeah. Perfect.
Mine looked more like a mom.
A moth? Well, you get bigger paper and, do some origami and color it up. It'll look like a butterfly. Or a bird.
That's a good one.
Hey, everyone did really well. Alright, well that's time. So we hope that you all were able to. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Alright, good. Yeah, that's time. So we appreciate you guys taking the time out to make some butterflies with us today. We hope that you had fun, you enjoyed yourselves, and hope that you could see that there's many practical applications for paper art, including gifts for your spouse, family members, siblings, any sort of significant other. As Dashlyn's going to demonstrate now, we have cookie favors for you guys, eloquently put together. Yeah, she gets most of the credit on this one. Eloquently put together with the butterflies, and really the sky's the limit in terms of creativity, which is the coolest thing about origami and paper art. So, really a lot to offer. You can use in everyday decoration or whatnot.
You can also use these to make thank you cards or things for your special buddies. Not to mention that they come for wonderful things with small children. Now that you know how to make the paper butterflies, you can actually use them in distracting small children at restaurants. That's what I do with my nieces and nephews. It's one of the great things is you don't have to have a fuzzy stick. You can have a small piece of paper and just twist it around the top. When we first did this at Starbucks, we had 2 kids that were next to us, and they were just watching us constantly and totally loved the fact that there were paper butterflies, and we gave them to them, and they were quite impressed. So.
Yeah, that was actually a really cool experience. So if you want to spread some joy, you can pass these along to people. Real easy to make, as you can tell. Put them together, most of you guys, in like 2 minutes, and it's real simple, and it just brightens people's days. So snickerdoodles, I believe,
Yes.
on Professor Martin. And hope you guys all enjoy snickerdoodles as well. So, the name of our teaching style is called the reciprocal style, and this is due to the reciprocal nature of the partnership that you guys have together. Now, in order to better demonstrate it, I'm going to attempt to plot the anatomy here for you. So, you have a teacher who we'll call the teach, and then an observer over here, and then to make it short, he's got to look at the. There you go. And then the hand for the doer, or a turkey, whatever you want to make that out to be. So anyways, this is the anatomy setup for the reciprocal style. You have the teacher who's supposed to have direct contact with the observer. You can see the observer has kind of a tough job because he's looking at the doer and the teacher. He needs to take on the information that the teacher is offering and then pass it over to the doer, the person who's practicing the actual task. But you may notice that the teacher and the doer don't have any direct contact with each other. And so it's the observer's responsibility to, using the help of the instruction sheet that the teacher provided, to assist the doer in performing the task. And then at a certain point, as you all going to experience, you switch the roles, and the person who was the observer then gets to be the doer, and hopefully work with each other to accomplish the task.
This style is used mainly in larger classrooms. Here it's a little more difficult because you're all like, why, as the doer, you're like, why aren't you talking to me? I have a question. But this is really good for large classrooms when you have, like, you're outdoors or you're working with a lot of students. Then you have maybe an older student teaching a younger student, or someone who has a little more knowledge in regards to the activity being done, whether it's a backhand slice with tennis, or a chip in soccer, or a jump shot in basketball. This style is very good for large groups because that cuts down the waiting time of the student when they have a question and there's one teacher and you like have to run all the way across the room trying to find you. So that's reciprocal style.
Yeah, I actually think that it works well too for in moments when certain kids might be shy, or big classroom settings like Dash said. It gives a kid or a child or the learner, whomever it may be, an opportunity to speak with a partner and potentially be less intimidated by a bigger classroom setting and a teacher, which can be very beneficial for that particular learner if they're too afraid to otherwise voice the fact that they don't understand what's going on. So that can definitely be beneficial. But are there any questions? Anything we can help answer that we didn't project to you guys? You all look very much like you understand it. Okay.
I have a random question.
Yeah.
For the group that went outside, what exactly were you guys talking about?
Well, that was that was an effort to save time, and rather than have Dashan speak only to the observers, our goal was to, because it can be kind of confusing in the setting. Like you notice Christina over here, like got a little bit tripped up, and that's not her fault. That's on me. But the goal was to make it so the instruction sheet was for the observer, and then the doers would be separated. And then my hope was to explain out there to you guys to work together, just so there was no confusion about who was which, and if you're both going together. And then Dasha would speak to the observer on, so you guys could observe the task that you're going to be performing. That was the hope, anyways. Played out kind of like we hoped. Any other questions? All right, well, once again, thank you for your time, and hope you enjoyed blood class.